Here's how to tie the double overhand stopper knot. Form a loop at the end of the rope, then take the end and go through another time and tighten the knot. On the finished knot, the rope should be parallel on one side and form an X on the other. But if you'll be tying it after a figure 8 follow through or other knots, there's another technique that works better. Put your thumb on the rope and go over it with the end of the rope. Now go over it once again, but this time form an X. And lastly, take out your thumb and put the end of the rope through the loops that you just made. This knot is considered to be one of the best stopper knots because it's strong, it's easy to tie and check, and it's somewhat easy to untie as well. It's most commonly used for securing other knots like the figure 8 follow through and the figure 8 bend. But you can also use this knot to connect two ropes together by making two of these knots in the opposite directions. In this variation, it's called the double fisherman knot. Here's how to tie the chain sinnet knot. Take the end of the rope and create a loop, then tuck the rope in from the other side, then do it again and again and again until you reach the desired length. When you've reached the end of the rope, simply take the end, pass it through the final loop to secure the chain sinnet. This knot is really useful to use when you need to wash the rope or when you need to prepare it for storage because it pretty much guarantees that the rope won't be tangled up when you'll need it, and it also takes up way less space. For very long ropes, you can fold the rope in half or even one more time, and then proceed as usual with tying the knot. To untie it, simply take the end of the rope back through and then pull. Here's how to tie the fisherman's bend knot. Start by placing both rope ends next to one another. Then tie a simple overhand knot around the first rope and tighten it. Now tie another overhand knot with the other rope facing in the other direction. And finally, pull each rope in the opposite directions until they slide together. The best part about this knot is that it is extremely easy to tie because everyone knows how to tie an overhand knot just from tying their shoes. It's also really secure. It won't come undone only if you pull it with extremely heavy loads or if the rope itself is very slippery. But with most types of ropes, this knot is more than reliable enough, even when being pulled with a good amount of force. Here's how to tie the Ashley stopper knot, sometimes also referred to as the oysterman's knot. Start by creating a medium-sized bight near the end of the rope. Then fold it down like this and make the left loop slightly larger than the other one. Now pass the larger loop through the smaller one and tighten this knot. After that, take the end of the rope and go through this loop and tighten it by pulling on the standing end. To check that it's tied correctly, turn it slightly and you should see 3 lobes that are similar in size. This stopper knot is so good because it's very bulky, it's very strong, and it's also very easy to untie. Here's how to tie the Stevedore Stopper Knot. It forms a pretty big knot at the end of the rope, which you can use to keep the rope from slipping through rings, anchors, and other knots. Start by creating a loop near the end of the rope. Then go around it once, a second time, and finally go through this loop. Tighten by pulling the rope in the opposite directions and then pulling the rope while holding the knot with your other free hand. The finished knot should look something like this. Make sure to keep the end pretty long to account for slippage because as you pull the rope, the end will become a bit shorter. Due to its large profile, this knot is very commonly used in boating, in sailing, and for hauling very heavy loads. You can also use this knot when creating a swing by drilling a hole inside the plank and then tying it in the rope to keep it from slipping through the hole. Here's how to tie the EStar Stopper Knot. Create a loop near the end of the rope, then go around it 1.5 turns and then through it from the back. Now take the end of the rope and pass it through this strand. And then through the whole knot from the top to bottom, parallel to the standing end, like this. Before proceeding, tighten the middle knot over here like this. Now fold the loops together and pass the end through them. Tighten the knot by first pulling the standing end, then this loop on the right side, and finally on the tag end. This is the most secure and bulkiest stopper knot that I know of. It was designed specifically to work with very slippery ropes like the ones made by Dyneema, because it's very unlikely to slip. Here's how to tie a figure 8 follow-through knot, also sometimes referred to as the rewoven figure of 8 knot. Start by creating a figure 8 knot at the end of your rope. Take a rather long piece of rope, then go under, up, under and through the final opening. The finished knot should look something like this, and it should have a rather long piece of rope at the end of it. Now take the end of the rope and go over the attachment point that you'll be using. Now you need to retrace the figure of 8 that you just made, just in the other direction. To make sure that it's tied correctly, make sure that it has 3 sets of parallel ropes on each side. It's a very strong knot that's most commonly used in climbing for attaching to the harness, but you can also use it anytime you need to create a strong connection to a fixed object. The knot tightens by itself when it's pulled, so it doesn't require a stopper knot. But a lot of people, especially climbers, like to add another double overhand stopper knot for additional safety. Here's how to tie the heaving line knot. Start by creating an S shape near the end of the rope with the rope end sitting on the right side and left pretty long. Now take the rope end and go through this top loop, then go around these 2 strands, and then go around all 3 strands. Continue by doing multiple turns around all 3 strands and make sure to do them tightly and place them neatly next to one another. When you reach the desired length, simply pass the end of the rope through this bottom loop like this. Now you need to tighten this bottom loop, and you do that by pulling this top loop until the bottom one disappears. And finally, you can tighten this loop by pulling on the standing end. This knot is very useful to know if you need to throw one end of the rope around a tree branch or something similar, because it adds a lot of weight to the end of the rope. Here's how to tie the barrel hitch. Use it any time you need to lift off heavy barrels or buckets. Start by taking the end of the rope and placing it like this, and then putting the bucket on top of it. Now take both ends, go over it, and do a simple overhand knot. Now expand the middle part of this overhand knot and put it underneath these lips over here. Then create a loop in the standing end, go through it with the working end, around the standing end, and finally back through the loop to create a bowline knot. And that's how a finished barrel knot should look like. To learn other useful knots, subscribe to our channel. Here's how to tie the European death knot, other called the flat overhand bend or the offset overhand bend. Place the 2 ropes next to each other, form a loop, and then take the ends of this rope and go through this loop. It's really important to check that none of these ropes are crossing each other, and to tighten the knot very carefully by pulling both of the ropes together and then separately each one. To check that it's tied correctly, make sure that it forms 2 sets of parallel ropes on one side and 1 set on the other. When using critical applications like climbing, you have to leave a rather long end after the knot, at least 2 hand lengths or 30 centimeters in size. That's because when pulled with a lot of force, this knot can capsize and roll, and the leftover rope accounts for it. It isn't a very strong way of connecting 2 ropes, but it's very commonly used in climbing because it can support the body weight of a climber. When rappelling, this knot is very unlikely to get stuck on rocks because both of the ropes enter from the same direction. To learn other useful knots, subscribe and check out our channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.